This predator can silently approach prey from less than 20 meters away, yet remain almost invisible until the final second. But how did the tiger become one of nature's most effective hunters? The tiger is the largest member of the cat family. It belongs to a group of predators that evolved millions of years ago. Today, it lives across parts of Asia. However, its range is much smaller than it once was. Thousands of years ago, tigers occupied vast territories. They lived in forests, grasslands, wetlands, and even snowy regions. Few large predators have adapted to such different environments. An adult male tiger can weigh more than 300 kilograms. Some individuals grow over 3 meters in length, including the tail. Despite this size, a tiger can move with remarkable stealth. Its striped coat is one of the most recognizable patterns in the animal kingdom. At first glance, bright orange fur seems easy to spot. However, many prey animals do not see colors the same way humans do. In forests and tall grass, those stripes help break up the tiger's outline. Scientists believe every tiger has a unique stripe pattern. No two tigers have exactly the same markings. In a way, the stripes work like fingerprints. A tiger spends much of its life alone. Unlike lions, it does not depend on a permanent social group. Each individual controls the territory. The size of that territory depends on food availability. In regions with abundant prey, territories can be relatively small. Where food is scarce, they can become enormous. Some tigers travel across hundreds of square kilometers. To defend these areas, tigers use scent marking. They leave chemical signals on trees and vegetation. These messages provide information to other tigers. They can reveal age, sex, and reproductive condition. However, what makes this even more interesting is their communication system. Most people think tigers only roar. In reality, they produce a surprising variety of sounds. They growl during conflicts. They chuff during friendly encounters. They hiss when threatened. Each sound serves a different purpose. The famous roar is especially powerful. Under the right conditions, it can be heard from several kilometers away. A roar can warn rivals and announce territory ownership. Yet sound is only one part of the tiger's survival toolkit. Its senses are highly developed. A tiger's night vision is far better than a human's. This advantage allows it to hunt during low-light conditions. Its hearing is also extremely sensitive. It can detect subtle movements in dense vegetation. Even a small rustle may reveal the location of potential prey. The whiskers play an important role as well. They help the tiger sense nearby objects. This becomes especially useful in darkness. Scientists have discovered that tigers often spend hours observing their surroundings. They do not rush into action. Patience is one of their greatest strengths. A tiger may wait silently for the perfect opportunity. Sometimes it remains hidden for long periods. Then, in a matter of seconds, everything changes. But before the hunt begins, another remarkable challenge must be solved. The tiger must survive within some of the most demanding habitats on Earth. To understand how it does that, we need to look deeper into the world it calls home. The tiger's world is far more diverse than many people realize. Some live in tropical rainforests. Others survive in dry woodlands. A few even endure harsh winters in snow-covered landscapes. One of the most remarkable populations lives in the Russian Far East. These tigers face freezing temperatures that can fall far below zero. Snow blankets the ground for months. Yet the animals continue to hunt and patrol their territories. To survive such conditions, they develop thicker fur. A layer of fat also helps conserve body heat. These adaptations allow them to remain active throughout winter. At the opposite extreme, tigers inhabit the hot forests of India and Southeast Asia. Temperatures can become intense. Humidity often remains high. However, tigers have developed ways to stay cool. Unlike many cats, tigers enjoy water. They frequently enter rivers, lakes, and ponds. Some individuals spend long periods resting in shallow water during hot weather. Scientists have observed tigers swimming across surprisingly large distances. They can cross wide rivers with ease. This ability helps them reach new hunting grounds. It also allows them to explore territories separated by water. However, what makes this even more interesting is their flexibility. Many predators depend on a narrow range of habitats. Tigers can adapt to a wide variety of environments. This adaptability has played a major role in their long evolutionary success. Every habitat presents different challenges. Food availability changes from place to place. Competition also varies. As a result, tigers must constantly adjust their behavior. In dense forests, visibility is limited. A tiger may rely heavily on stealth. Tall vegetation provides excellent cover. Prey animals often have little warning before an attack. In more open environments, the challenge becomes greater. The tiger must use terrain carefully. Small hills, bushes, and shadows become valuable tools. Scientists have discovered that tigers often memorize important features within their territories. They learn the locations of water sources. They remember common travel routes used by prey. This knowledge increases hunting efficiency. Water plays a critical role in tiger survival. Large predators require regular access to drinking water. Many prey animals also gather near rivers and ponds. For a tiger, these areas become strategic locations. However, water can bring danger as well. Large crocodiles share some of the same habitats. In certain regions, both predators compete for resources. Occasionally, their paths cross. Young tigers face even greater risks. Cubs are vulnerable to many threats. Floods can destroy dens. Disease can spread quickly. Food shortages can become deadly. This is why mothers choose den sites carefully. They often select hidden locations. Dense vegetation provides protection. Rocky shelters can offer additional security. For the first weeks of life, cubs remain almost completely dependent on their mother. Their eyes are closed at birth. They are unable to hunt. They cannot defend themselves. During this period, the mother must balance two difficult tasks. She must protect her cubs. She must also find enough food to survive. This responsibility requires constant effort. A mother tiger may travel long distances while hunting, yet she regularly returns to check on her young. Scientists have found that tiger mothers display remarkable dedication. The survival of each cub often depends on her experience and skill. Even small mistakes can have serious consequences. But before a cub can become a powerful hunter, it must first learn the lessons that shape every tiger's life. And those lessons begin with one of the most challenging journeys in the animal kingdom. A tiger cub enters the world completely helpless. It cannot walk properly. It cannot hunt. It relies entirely on its mother for survival. For the first few months, the den becomes the center of its universe. Here the cub learns its earliest lessons. Every sight, sound, and smell carries information. As the cub grows stronger, curiosity begins to take over. It starts exploring the area around the den. Simple movements become practice for future survival. Play soon becomes an important part of development. Cubs chase each other. They wrestle. They pounce on leaves and branches. To an observer, these activities may seem like games. However, scientists know they serve a deeper purpose. Each movement helps develop strength, balance, and coordination. A future hunter is being trained. The mother carefully watches these interactions. She rarely interferes unless necessary. The cubs are learning skills they will need for the rest of their lives. As they grow older, another stage begins. The cubs start following their mother on short journeys. At first, they simply observe. They watch how she moves through vegetation. They notice how she reacts to sounds. They learn when to remain still. Patience becomes one of the most important lessons. A tiger does not succeed through speed alone. It succeeds through timing. One mistake can end a hunting attempt instantly. Scientists have observed young tigers studying their mother's behavior closely. Learning through observation greatly improves survival chances. Eventually, the cubs witness their first hunts. These moments can be dramatic. The mother lowers her body close to the ground. Every step becomes slow and controlled. Her attention remains fixed on the target. The cubs observe from a safe distance. Sometimes the hunt succeeds. Sometimes it fails. This is another important lesson. Even experienced tigers do not catch prey every time. In fact, many hunting attempts end unsuccessfully. Success requires persistence. As months pass, the cubs become more confident. They begin practicing stalking behavior themselves. Small animals often become their first targets. Many early attempts fail. The cubs move too quickly. They make too much noise. They reveal their position too soon. However, each mistake provides experience. Scientists have discovered that young predators improve gradually through repetition. There is no shortcut. Skill develops over time. At around 1 year of age, the cubs become increasingly independent. They can travel longer distances. They participate more actively during hunts. Yet they still depend on their mother. Food remains essential for growth. A developing tiger requires large amounts of energy. Strong muscles and powerful bones demand constant nutrition. The relationship between mother and cub remains one of the most important bonds in a tiger's life. However, this stage cannot last forever. As the young tigers approach adulthood, competition begins to emerge. Territory becomes important. Resources become valuable. The mother gradually spends less time caring for them. This transition can be difficult. Soon, each young tiger must face the greatest challenge of all. It must leave the safety of its birthplace and enter a world where survival depends entirely on its own abilities. And for many young tigers, that journey becomes a test of courage, intelligence, and endurance. The moment eventually arrives when a young tiger must leave its mother's territory. This stage is known as dispersal. It marks the beginning of an uncertain new life. For the first time, the young tiger is completely alone. There are no siblings nearby. There is no mother to provide food. Every decision now carries consequences. The journey can last for months. Some tigers travel extraordinary distances while searching for a territory of their own. Scientists tracking wild individuals have recorded movements spanning hundreds of kilometers. These long journeys are filled with risks. The young tiger may enter the territory of an older resident. Such encounters can be dangerous. Adult tigers do not always welcome intruders. A warning roar may be enough to drive a newcomer away, but conflicts sometimes become physical. When large predators fight, injuries can be severe. Because of this, young tigers often avoid direct confrontation. They move cautiously. They travel mostly at night. Stealth remains their greatest protection. However, finding an empty territory is only part of the challenge. The area must contain enough prey. It must provide water. It must offer suitable cover. Without these resources, long-term survival becomes difficult. Scientists have discovered that successful territory selection can influence a tiger's entire future. A good territory increases hunting opportunities. It improves health. It may eventually attract a mate. Once established, the tiger begins a new chapter. It learns the landscape in remarkable detail. Travel routes become familiar. Water sources are memorized. Important resting locations are identified. Over time, the territory becomes part of the tiger's daily routine. Yet life remains demanding. An adult tiger requires substantial food. Large prey animals often form the foundation of its diet. Deer are common targets in many regions. Wild pigs are also important. In some habitats, even larger animals may be hunted. The tiger must carefully evaluate every opportunity. A healthy prey animal can be difficult to catch. Many possess excellent senses. Some can run at impressive speeds. Others live in groups that provide extra protection. This is why the tiger depends on strategy. Scientists have observed that tigers frequently approach from downwind. This reduces the chance of being detected by scent. Even a slight change in wind direction can influence the outcome of a hunt. Distance is also critical. A tiger usually attempts to get as close as possible before attacking. Every meter matters. The closer the predator gets, the greater its chance of success. Then comes the final charge. The tiger explodes from cover with incredible power. Its muscles release tremendous energy. What appeared motionless only seconds earlier suddenly becomes a burst of speed and force. However, the chase is often short. Unlike some predators that pursue prey over long distances, tigers rely on ambush. Their strength lies in surprise. A prolonged chase consumes valuable energy. This hunting style has shaped many aspects of tiger biology. Powerful shoulders help control struggling prey. Strong jaws deliver an effective bite. Large paws provide stability during the final moments of capture. Every feature serves a purpose. Every adaptation has been refined through countless generations. But what makes the tiger truly extraordinary is not only its strength, it is the remarkable precision with which that strength is used. And nowhere is this more evident than in the sophisticated hunting techniques that scientists continue to study today. A tiger's hunt often begins long before it sees its prey. It constantly gathers information from its surroundings. Fresh tracks reveal movement. Broken vegetation may indicate recent activity. Even subtle scents can provide valuable clues. Scientists have discovered that experienced tigers are highly observant. They do not wander randomly. They often patrol areas where prey is most likely to appear. Timing is equally important. Many prey animals follow predictable routines. They visit water sources. They move between feeding areas. They use familiar travel routes. A tiger learns these patterns. This knowledge allows it to position itself strategically. Instead of chasing opportunities, it often waits for them. Patience can save enormous amounts of energy. Sometimes a tiger remains hidden for hours. Its body stays low. Its movements become almost impossible to detect. The surrounding environment becomes part of the hunt. Tall grass conceals its approach. Shadows break up its outline. Natural terrain helps mask its presence. However, prey animals are not defenseless. Many possess excellent hearing. Others have strong senses of smell. Some live in groups where multiple individuals watch for danger. This creates a constant contest between predator and prey. Scientists often describe this relationship as an evolutionary arms race. As prey becomes better at detecting threats, predators improve their hunting strategies. The tiger is one of the most successful examples of this process. Its flexible spine helps generate powerful movement. Its hind legs produce explosive acceleration. Its padded paws reduce noise while walking. Even its coloration contributes to success. At close range, the striped pattern blends surprisingly well with vegetation. This camouflage becomes especially effective during dawn and dusk. These periods are often productive hunting times. Light conditions are changing. Visibility becomes limited. The tiger gains an important advantage. Yet not every hunt targets the same species. A tiger's diet varies depending on location. In some regions, deer dominate the menu. Elsewhere, wild pigs provide a major food source. Scientists have recorded tigers hunting more than 50 different prey species across their range. This flexibility helps them adapt to changing conditions. However, larger prey presents unique challenges. Big animals can fight back. They may kick, charge, or attempt to escape. A single mistake can result in injury. Because of this, the tiger must carefully judge risk versus reward. An injury can threaten future survival. A predator that cannot hunt effectively faces serious difficulties. This is one reason why tigers often avoid unnecessary confrontations. Energy conservation plays a critical role in their lives. Every hunt requires effort. Every patrol consumes calories. Every decision influences survival. Scientists studying tiger behavior have found that successful individuals often balance activity with rest remarkably well. After feeding, a tiger may spend many hours resting. This allows digestion to occur efficiently. It also helps recover energy for future hunts. Yet survival is not only about food. Another powerful force shapes the life of every adult tiger. It influences territory. It affects behavior. It determines the future of the species itself. That force is reproduction. And during the breeding season, even the most solitary tiger begins to change its routine in fascinating ways. For most of its life, a tiger prefers solitude. It hunts alone. It travels alone. It patrols its territory alone. However, this pattern changes when reproduction becomes a priority. Adult tigers communicate their readiness through scent, markings, and vocal signals. These messages travel across the landscape. They help individuals locate one another without direct contact. Scientists have discovered that chemical communication plays a major role in tiger behavior. A single scent mark can provide important information. It can reveal identity. It can indicate territorial ownership. It can even signal reproductive status. When a male detects these signals, he may begin searching for the female. These encounters are often brief. Unlike many social animals, tigers do not form long-term family groups. Their interaction usually lasts only a short period. During this time, vocal communication increases. Roars and other calls help maintain contact. The pair may travel together for several days. Once mating is complete, they separate. The female soon carries the full responsibility of raising the next generation. After a pregnancy of about 3.5 months, she gives birth in a carefully chosen den. The location must provide security. It must remain hidden from potential threats. The survival of the cubs depends on this protection. At birth, the cubs are tiny compared to their future size. A fully grown tiger may become one of the largest land predators on Earth. Yet, every individual begins life as a vulnerable newborn. The mother rarely leaves the den during the first days. Her attention remains focused on the cubs. They require warmth, nourishment, and constant care. Scientists have observed remarkable maternal dedication in wild tigers. The mother's investment is enormous. Years of effort may be required before the cubs become independent. This long period of care contributes to low reproductive rates. Tigers do not produce large numbers of offspring quickly. As a result, population recovery can be slow when numbers decline. However, what makes this even more interesting is the survival challenge faced by young cubs. Not every cub reaches adulthood. Disease can pose a threat. Food shortages can create difficulties. Natural hazards may appear without warning. Because of these challenges, each successful adult tiger represents years of survival and learning. As cubs grow, they become increasingly active. They explore their surroundings. They practice hunting movements. They begin developing the skills that will define their future. Scientists have found that play behavior serves as valuable training. What appears playful often prepares the cubs for real-world situations. A leap becomes hunting practice. A wrestling match develops strength. A chase improves coordination. Little by little, the next generation is prepared. This process has repeated for countless generations. It has helped tigers survive changing climates. It has allowed them to adapt to diverse habitats. It has supported one of the most successful predator lineages in the natural world. Yet despite these remarkable abilities, modern tigers face challenges unlike any encountered by their ancestors. For the first time in their history, the greatest threat to their survival does not come from another predator. It comes from changes occurring across the landscapes they depend on. And understanding those challenges reveals one of the most important chapters in the tiger's story. For thousands of years, tigers ruled vast areas of Asia, their territories stretched across enormous landscapes. They occupied forests, grasslands, wetlands, and mountain regions. Today, that picture looks very different. Scientists estimate that tiger populations have declined dramatically compared to historical levels. Large portions of their former range have disappeared. Many areas that once supported tigers no longer do. One major reason is habitat loss. As human populations grow, natural landscapes often change. Forests may be cleared. Roads may be built, settlements may expand. These changes can divide tiger habitats into smaller sections. At first, this may not seem significant. However, large predators require space. A single tiger may need an extensive territory to find sufficient food and resources. When habitats become fragmented, movement becomes more difficult. Scientists have discovered that isolated populations face additional challenges. Fewer individuals interact with one another. Genetic diversity can decrease over time. This may affect long-term population health. However, habitat is only part of the story. The tiger's survival is closely connected to prey availability. Healthy tiger populations depend on healthy prey populations. If deer, wild pigs, and other prey species decline, tigers face greater pressure. This relationship highlights an important ecological principle. Predators do not exist separately from their ecosystems. They are part of a larger network. Changes affecting one species often influence many others. Because of this, conservation efforts frequently focus on entire ecosystems rather than a single animal. Protecting forests helps tigers. It also helps birds, insects, reptiles, and countless other species. Scientists often refer to the tiger as an umbrella species. When enough habitat is protected for tigers, many other forms of wildlife benefit as well. This makes tiger conservation especially valuable. Over the past several decades, researchers, conservation organizations, and governments have worked together to support tiger recovery. Protected areas have been established. Anti-poaching programs have expanded. Wildlife monitoring has become more advanced. Technology now plays a major role. Camera traps allow scientists to observe animals without disturbing them. GPS tracking provides information about movement patterns. Genetic analysis helps researchers understand population structure. These tools have transformed wildlife research. For the first time, scientists can gather detailed information about tiger behavior on a large scale. However, some mysteries remain. Researchers continue to study how tigers select territories. They investigate communication methods. They explore how populations adapt to changing environments. Each discovery provides new insight into this remarkable predator. In some regions, conservation efforts have produced encouraging results. Population numbers have stabilized. Certain protected areas now support increasing numbers of tigers. These successes demonstrate what is possible when habitat and wildlife receive long-term protection. Yet conservation remains an ongoing process. The future of the tiger depends on decisions being made today. It depends on healthy ecosystems. It depends on scientific research. It depends on continued protection of the landscapes where these animals live. And perhaps most importantly, it depends on understanding why the tiger remains one of the most important predators in nature. To truly appreciate its role, we must look beyond its strength and examine the impact it has on the entire ecosystem around it. The tiger is far more than a powerful predator. It is a key part of the ecosystems it inhabits. By hunting large herbivores, tigers help maintain ecological balance. They influence prey populations. They affect animal behavior. In some cases, their presence can shape entire landscapes. Scientists call this a top-down ecological effect. When major predators are present, prey animals often move differently. They spend less time in certain areas. They avoid locations where risk is highest. This behavior can reduce excessive grazing. As vegetation recovers, other species benefit. Birds find nesting sites. Small mammals gain shelter. Insects discover new resources. A single predator can indirectly influence many forms of life. This is one reason why tigers are considered so important. Their role extends beyond hunting. They help support the health of complex ecosystems. However, what makes the tiger even more fascinating is the combination of traits it possesses. It combines strength with patience. It combines power with precision. It can move silently through dense forests. It can swim across wide rivers. It can survive in tropical heat and freezing winters. Few animals demonstrate such versatility. Scientists continue to study tigers because there is still much to learn. New discoveries reveal details about communication. Others improve our understanding of movement and behavior. Some research is uncovering how tigers respond to environmental change. Even after decades of study, this predator continues to surprise researchers. Its story is one of adaptation. Its story is one of resilience. Its story spans millions of years of evolution. From hidden forest trails to snow-covered mountains, the tiger remains one of nature's most extraordinary animals. Every stripe tells a unique story. Every territory reflects a battle for survival. Every generation carries forward an ancient legacy. And despite the challenges of the modern world, the tiger continues to endure. It remains a symbol of strength, intelligence, and survival in the natural world. The future of this magnificent predator depends on protecting the ecosystems that support it. Because when tigers thrive, entire ecosystems often thrive with them. The tiger is not simply a hunter. It is a guardian of balance within the wild places it calls home. If you enjoyed this documentary, make sure to like and subscribe for more wildlife stories.